Hiya to the tribe. How's everyone today? This is TAIFA World Ministries Community Gathering. Visitors are welcome. I'm watching they got these Little League youth games, and the spirit reminded me of something I've shared this many times before. But do you remember when they had the so called Negro Leagues? When you had all these very talented players. I mean, see, I remember that. I don't remember going to the game, but I remember my parents talking about it. Now, what if we had our own leagues? Since we are the most talented players on the teams, what if we return back? Because we've had our own leagues before, and nobody could mess with us. And do you know when we had our Negro leagues, there was no NFL, uh, there was no white leagues. Put it like that. Once they created the white leagues, then they say, how can we get that talent? How can we get all that talent over there to make money off their talent? I give you 25 million, but we making 25 billion. So what? Do you think that's why people decide to force integration so we wouldn't have anything that we can call our own? They would be caught in that generations be caught in a perpetual loop of disfranchisement, of rejection, always trying to measure up to please another people. First discriminated, you become a permanent underclass because you're not able to get ahead, because you're not the head. Everybody knows that. Nobody comes to America and try to integrate. So how did we follow that lie? Y'all, I never integrated. Why did y'all follow that lie? And still following today. Selling your children back in slavery. We got to come to our senses, people. We got to come to our senses and have something of our own. And the world will come and see us because we're the most talented. Why use your talent? Everyone use their talent for their own people. Why don't we do that? Why don't we use our talent to boost ourselves up? Why boost up a system or economy? They're constantly rejecting you, telling you they don't want you. And all the way we have blessed them, man, they should be on their knees every time they see one of us, thanking us. Yes, that's the way I feel about it. But how long can somebody lie to you? As long as you don't know the truth. Anybody want to comment? Any brave souls in there want to comment? You know, even I've talked about, we had our own, we used to produce movies. Look, if you do your research, you find out everything that's happening, we did it first. We did it first. Even in Europe, when we was ruling, we discriminated and abused these people. We did. They remember that. That's why that's why the 60s was like payback time. Not those who was here of the land, it was those who came here that looked like us. Them the real sellouts. Them the ones who led the civil rights struggle, you know, always telling you, look what Whitey doing. When they Whitey, in blackface. So don't let nobody tell you who to love and who to hate. And suspect people who look like you who want to keep you in your place. They say your place. So Spirit told me to share this with the community because I see great things ahead. I see people waking up. I saw, in these schools, you can do so much in these schools, coaches. I know you're trying to make a difference. That's why when we had our own schools, we got all the support we need. How you gonna get support and somebody else's system is not for you? How long are you gonna beat our head against the wall, begging to be accepted? Why don't we look at the people who coming here, who's not trying to integrate, who's living together, working as a team, helping each other? That's the only way a people make it. It start with their own community. That's the only way. And it was not the white folks that stopping us. It's these so-called black leaders. They just have the whites out there to try to divert our attention like they're the enemy. No, they're not. You can say we are our own worst enemy. Whites didn't lead the civil rights struggles, blacks did. Whites was against integration. Blacks' leadership, that fake leadership, sold us out. I remember these so-called, they call them bigots back then, Fabers, Bull Corner, Storm Thurmond, all these people who's fighting against integration. Looking back now, man, they was our friends. These white people, they was our friends. They say, you don't want to integrate. Now here we are, 2, 3 generations later. Worse shape. No families destroyed. No community. Nothing of your own. You don't even think about building something in your community. Thanks to integration. Got you thinking you got to look like him. You got to look like her. You got to talk like him. You got to talk like her, or you're not going to make it. You got to have your hair right to work here. Well, whose fault is that? If you have your own community, you have your own community standards. It's like we're here with YouTube. It's their community. You got to respect their standards or leave. So we can do the same. I mean, I've been here for over a year looking for our community, people who I was associated with to say, hey, I got the keys, I got what we need and know how to go. What can you do as a person? All you can do as a person is, as one person, you can tell somebody else and tell somebody else until enough people come together and say, hey, let's get this moving. You can get it started. That's what I'm the spark to try to get this started. But you can't because you're on a JOB and your time ain't your own. You sold your soul to the devil. Not willingly. It just happened like that. Okay, I see quite a few people in here. Anyone want to comment? I'll give you a minute. Or just I was thinking, we were so good in basketball. We had a team that all we did was clown. We clowned with the game. We were so good. Went around the world. We clown. We in other words, you are so good at something you can clown with it. But we can have our own teams, man, and forget a million, 25 million. We get all the revenues from the people coming to the game and the rights to show it. And that's how you build a community is ownership. I see it so clearly because I was a part of it. See, a lot of y'all didn't experience what I experienced. I experienced a community. We have three cab companies that we own: Jackson, Square Deal. What was the other one? Riverside. Yeah, we own these cab companies. And that's when they came and started bringing buses in. And this whole lie about she wanted to ride on the bus. Man, we had our own buses. We had our own buses and trains. There's so many lies told on us as a people. That was just something to say y'all need to integrate. And that was just about getting your talent, monetizing your talent, programming you in the schools that you're supposed to work for them on a job, discouraging, not supporting any entrepreneurs, not allowing you to even think to do something for yourself. They make it so hard, but there's nothing we can't overcome as a people. See, the thing is, we have support groups. We have support groups. Nobody's going to be on the street. That's a community. That's what we allowed these Negro leaders to sell us out. And they still doing it. Well, thank y'all for showing up. Higher to the tribe. We still are alive. And we thrive.